नमस्कार, मैं हूं नीरज ओम प्रकाश श्रीवास्तव। पावर ऑफ वन के लिए नव अभिभावकों के लिए ये बड़ी समस्या होती है कि वे अपने छोटे छोटे बच्चों के लिए स्कूल का चयन कैसे करें। लेकिन कई बार बहुत कन्फ्यूजन होता है कि बच्चों को किस स्कूल में दाखिला दिलाया जाए। तो हमने इस संबंध में कैप्टन उन्नी कृष्णन एस्पायर इंटरनेशनल स्कूल के डायरेक्टर हैं और एजुकेशन के मामले में निरंतर शोध कार्य कर रहे हैं। तो नए बच्चों को स्कूल में प्रवेश दिलाने से पहले अभिभावकों के मन में क्या सवाल होने चाहिए और उनके कैसे हल निकलने चाहिए, इसका जवाब हमने कैप्टन उन्नी कृष्णन से लिया। वह निश्चित रूप से हमारे दर्शकों के लिए बहुत लाभकारी सिद्ध हो।
Good morning everyone. I am Captain Unni Krishnan and I have come from Bangalore. I am a mentor at Aspire International School, Nagpur. When you start a school or schooling of your child, it is important for the parent to understand that you are not putting your child to school because of the fees that you are paying for them, and it is not a transaction of money. What is important is that as a parent and as a school, there should be a partnership. The parent must understand that the school is equally important or responsible for the child as the parent. If both of them start sharing their notes between each other rather than finding a fault with each other, it happens that parents find fault with the school finds fault with the parents, then there is no learning or any progress for the child. So understand that, don't blame each other. On the contrary, let it be an association where both the parties are benefiting out of it, because we have one single goal, and that is the progress or growth of your child. I will share some tips with you on how to choose the right school for your child. All of us know that schooling starts at the age of 6. But before the school, there is something called play school, and that is the place where the initial foundation years of your child are done. Now, for selecting a school, a parent must put in a few points which will help the child have the right school for their child in a long run. When you select your school, it is very essential that you think of the points which are relevant to your school. For a play school, the most important point is that your school should be in your neighborhood. Right? Sending your child to a school which is far away really doesn't help, because the child ends up spending so much time on travel. So when you choose a play school, look for it in your neighborhood. In a kindergarten school, what is essential is to see that the child is just not worried about reading and writing. In kindergarten, the activities that a teacher does is actually about group learning and activities which are done by the children, which is called child-centric education. So in that, the children are supposed to do activities and learn topics from that. The next one is where the teacher initiated activities start. And in the teacher initiated activity, what the teacher does is she introduces a topic, and that helps the children go up with using their ideas. Independent learning will happen with activities which are happening in school. The environment which is around in a kindergarten school is also very critical. It is very essential that you are not sending your child to a school where only classrooms are there. They must start doing things on their own, for which there are two types of education. One is the kindergarten and second is the Montessori. The kindergarten education is basically a progression, or I would say movement from what a regular school does of reading, writing. Whereas in Montessori, the activity is more about learning by doing. So if you will see, kindergarten schools will focus on the ABCD that you will see, whereas in Montessori, what a child does, whether it is rolling of a mat, keeping things in place, there are lot of such activities which are there. So when you choose your child's school, it is essential that you are not just putting a child in the school because of the name. There are a lot of chain of schools which are there, but rather than that, you must go and see how the teacher over there is interacting with the children. What is his or her level of comfort in dealing with children? These are the initial points which will help you make up your choice. So when you choose a school, what is important is, in addition to the learning that they would do, there are 3 points which you must choose: EQ, SQ and IQ. And each of them are equally important for a child in their school. So when you choose the school, what you would do is you would look at gross motor skills which are developed, you look at fine motor skills which are important, and more importantly, you see how a child's behavior is impacted in a school. Now, to give you an example, it is very essential that your child, other than just reading and writing, a child should be able to understand or make friends. Their interaction among children is very important. These help the child going forward in their life and also in higher classes of education. The moral values of a child get developed at a young age. So what happens is, if these activities are a part of the school education, it becomes that much more important. In a lot of schools, what happens is the children share their food together. That is the beginning of the concept of sharing. And many a times in today's world, when there is less of siblings, I would say, अगर आपके एक दो बच्चे नहीं हैं, एक ही बच्चा है, तो ये शेयरिंग आप नहीं सिखा सकते हैं, और ये स्कूल में सीख जाते हैं. Another thing which is important when you choose a school is not to look for the accent. हम देखते हैं कि अरे बड़ा इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग टीचर है, that is not important, लेकिन टीचर का शेयरिंग बहुत ज़रूरी है. इस चीज़ में से क्या होगा कि आपके बच्चे को लोगों को अपने साथ ले जाने का आइडिया होगा और उससे उसका इम्प्रूवमेंट होगा. What is important is for parents to understand you cannot outsource parenting. The responsibility of your child's education is yours. You are only using the school along with you, and hence you cannot put the blame on the school. For the good or the bad of your child is your responsibility. It is important that parents must spend quality time with their children. A lot amount of emotional development happens when the parents are interacting with your child. Remember, your interaction with your child, the language that you use with the people at home makes a lot of difference. आप अपने नौकरों के साथ जो बात करते हैं, उसमें भी बच्चा आपको देखता है. आप गाड़ी गलत जगह पार्क करते हैं और आप नो पार्किंग के सामने आपने पार्क किया हुआ है और आप एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं कि बच्चा रूल फॉलो करे, ये नहीं होता. तो इसलिए एज ए पेरेंट हमारे लिए ज़रूरी है कि हम बच्चों को सही तरीके से शिक्षा सिर्फ स्कूल से नहीं बट अपने आदतों से करें. सम गाइडलाइंस फॉर यू ऑन हाउ टू चूज द स्कूल फॉर योर चाइल्ड. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, राइट डाउन these questions and create an Excel sheet. Today all of us are used to making decisions based on Excel sheet. So create an Excel sheet where it would be check the following questions. Does it follow kindergarten or Montessori? or a mix? Is it a part of a chain of school or is it a standalone? How far is it from your school? Travel time is very critical. Do I need school or do I need daycare along with it? Do I want my child to continue in the same school from grade 1 to grade 12 or do I want only a kindergarten specialist school? How much of emphasis is there on personal care in the school? What is the peer group of the school? How approachable is the management? And more importantly, how affordable is it? Based on these points, create or mark 1 to 5 or 1 to 10 and then create a sheet which will give you the right kind of mix for your child. Remember, in no school will you get 100% of satisfaction. If you can get 60% satisfaction, this will be a great help for you to make a choice. I have shared with you all my experience of how you should choose a school for your child. What is important is for the parent to give their best for the child, and for that ensure that you are taking the right step for the right school to be chosen for your child. Thank you.